Let's learn about the future technologies. Let's learn about the future. Welcome to Hyperfocused Engineer.
Think about the game 20 questions. Your friend picks something, anything in the world, and you have to guess it, but you only get yes or no questions. Is it alive? No. Is it bigger than a breadbox? Yes. Does it have a screen? Yes. And just like that, out of every object on Earth, you've cornered television in about 6 questions. Here's the magic: each question chops the possibilities roughly in half. 20 good questions can pin down almost anything. And that whole game is the entire idea behind one of machine learning's most beloved models. It's called a decision tree. No line, no math, just questions. Now stop and notice something big. Every single model we've built so far drew a straight line through a cloud of dots. Predict a house price. Lined. Split spam from not spam. Lined. That was the whole shape of the thing. A decision tree throws the line away completely. Instead of drawing, it asks. It's a totally different shape of model, and it's still supervised learning, still sorting examples into buckets like we've done all along, just doing it with a chain of yes or no questions instead of a ruler. Same job, wildly different tool. So picture it drawn in our notebook, in pencil on cream graph paper. At the very top sits one question. It splits into 2 branches, yes goes left, no goes right. Each branch leads to another question which splits again and again, growing downward like an upside-down tree. Every fork is one yes or no question about a feature. Remember features, those clues you hand the model. Is the house bigger than 2,000 square feet? Yes, go left. Is the neighborhood downtown? No, go right. And at the very bottom, where the branches stop, sit the little answer leaves. Those are the leaves, the final answers. You start at the top, follow the yeses and nos, and you land on a leaf. That's a prediction. Let's trace one start to finish. Question: will I like this movie? Root question on the page: is it under 2 hours? Yes. Follow that branch down to the next fork: is it a comedy? Yes. And that branch ends in a leaf that says, watch it. Done. One path, root to leaf, and out pops an answer. And here's the part people fall in love with: you can see exactly why. It's not a mystery box that spits out a number you have to trust blindly. You can literally follow the pencil line and read the reason. Short and funny, so yes. A decision tree shows its work. But wait, who decides which question goes at the top? The machine does, and it's clever but simple. It tries every possible question and keeps the one that separates the groups the cleanest. Cleanest just means, after this split, the 2 branches are as pure as possible, cats mostly on one side, dogs mostly on the other. Buyers on the left, browsers on the right. The question that sorts them neatest goes first, then it repeats that same trick down every branch. No entropy formula you need to memorize, just over and over. Which question best sorts this pile? 2 things before we close. First, a warning we met earlier: overfitting. A tree allowed to ask endless questions will grow one tiny question per example and just memorize the answers, like a student cramming instead of learning. So we keep the tree shallow, few questions, big branches, and it stays smart on things it's never seen. Second, the power-up. Plant hundreds of slightly different trees, let each one vote, and take the majority. That crowd of trees is called a random forest, and it's one of the most reliable classic models there is, still winning real competitions today. Screenshot this one. A decision tree, machine learning with no line and no math. 1. It's a flowchart of yes or no questions, each fork splitting your data. 2. Follow the branches down to a leaf, and that leaf is your answer. 3. The machine picks each question by whichever one sorts the group's cleanest. 4. Keep it shallow so it doesn't just memorize, and plant a whole forest of them to vote for the best answer. A flowchart that splits your data down to an answer. That's the whole thing. Step back with me because this is the finale. Look how far you've come. You learned what machine learning even is, rules from examples. The 2 big families, supervised and unsupervised. How a model actually trains itself. What features and data do for it. The 2 great failure modes, overfitting and the bias variance tug-of-war. You built a straight-line predictor from scratch, and today, a second kind of model entirely. That is the real foundation of the whole field. You're not watching from the outside anymore. You understand the machine. 3 places to go deeper, all beginner gold. StatQuest's decision trees and random forests videos are the friendliest explanations anywhere. Go watch them next. Scikit-learn lets you build a real, working tree in about 5 lines of Python. And Kaggle's Titanic dataset is the classic first project, Everyone's first decision tree predicts who survived. Now the tease. Every model in this series had a fixed shape that you chose, a line, a tree. Next series, we build one that shapes itself. The neural network, the idea behind all of modern AI. That's where the whole foundation you just built finally comes alive. Subscribe and let's keep going.